No real way to intro. This guy looks amazing. But, Pat, what do you got going on over in Eugene?
Oregon Steve's here. Yeah, Oregon Steve.
Hell yeah. A lot of the years you couldn't wear this. They're rivals, Pac-12.
Yeah.
Now they're in the Big Ten.
And now they
could be my Big Ten team.
A little different class too. I don't want to start burying too much because I love Andrew. Look, I appreciate him, and obviously I appreciate the Stanford and Stanford Steve. You guys kind of asked Oregon, very, very good.
Correct.
Obviously, this place is spectacular. You've talked about this being an incredible home environment.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to experience. I was going to stay for the Indiana-Oregon game. Then I pick Indiana, and the way that I do, I go, probably shouldn't just utilize the sideline passes here this time, and I get out of here. You love this place as a home field advantage. What do you think about tomorrow in USC?
I think it's a super matchup because we got to see what Oregon's pass defense brings to the table, Pat. They've only played teams in the hundreds in pass offense the last month, and the last time we saw them here, Indiana threw the ball effectively against them. Now, they had Mendoza, and this pass offense for SC is their strength. So, to me, it's all about how Oregon can defend the pass. Now, I will say with USC, when you mentioned Stanford, when Stanford had success against Oregon teams, they matched them up front. Indiana matched them up front. Everybody talks about the skill guys with Oregon, but you got to beat them on the line of scrimmage on both sides. And does SC have that? This is their best chance since Lincoln Riley took over the job at USC.
That's a really cool jacket.
Thank you.
That is a really cool jacket.
Kenny and the boys in the equipment room.
Do you see that? I don't know.
How do they do the swoosh?
Is that the Grateful Duck?
Oh.
It is the Grateful Duck.
You look that's
Utter side. Utter side.
Utter one.
Yeah, the utter
side.
You have an utter sleeve. That's the utter sleeve. Not to be confused with the utter sleeve. You talk about Oregon's physicality. I think Dan Lanning loves that. We talked about him last hour, and he said, I want my team to be known to be relentless. And can't wait to watch that, obviously. Last time we were here, not good for them.
No.
Not good
Crowd
at all.
was not even a factor.
But on that note, crowd tomorrow morning, game day?
Oh, they're ready.
Crazy.
They love us. They love us. It's a different breed here. The way they could do staying out Friday night, coinciding with being awake for our show, then go take a quick nap-a-roo, and then come back for the game and be ready to go.
Okay, I love that we're doing it, and every time I watched an Oregon show game day, I felt envious of the people that were there because how special it was. Every time I've been part of an Oregon game day, it's been a spectacular vibe. Just, you're 6 a.m. out there, and the place is, I mean, it is wide awake, and it's special. It's a special
And it's
place.
so much better now. When we first started coming here, we did this right out here. Or no, over there. On the other side of the other end zone. But that was the best. That asked a lot for the students to come over. Now we're right in the middle of campus. They'll be ready to rock.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see them. This place is special. Tone has a question for you back in the Thunderdome. Steve?
Yeah, I do, Steve. I agree with you everything about that game. Oregon obviously being the number one pass defense, but they haven't really played anyone yet. But I wanted to take you down to Oklahoma and Mizzou. Obviously, Oklahoma gets the big win last week, even though they're outgained by 200 yards. They only went for 200 yards. Their offense has not looked good at all. Is there any chance Mizzou can get them, though, without Pribula? Because I know the freshman hasn't been great, and Oklahoma's defense is going to throw a ton if it's the freshman going. But can Mizzou, do they have a chance if Pribula goes, or do you think they have a chance either way?
I think they need Pribula with what that brings to the table.
You two just pronounced that differently,
yes, we
so
did.
Figure it out.
He's right.
Pribula.
He's definitely right.
Okay, well, Tone said Pribula.
Pribula? No, I said Pribula. I said Pribula.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Pribula.
Okay, yeah.
We got it.
Whatever the case. Let's show some respect.
They need him. The issue is an ankle, and going against that offense, you're going to need to go 100 miles an hour, and can he sustain that? The issue I have with Missouri is when they have played the upper echelon teams in college football in the SEC, they haven't fared great. Where we got here? Ahmad was 52 yards. 52 against Alabama, and then nothing against the other top 10 defense they faced. So it's an uphill battle. I mean, Oklahoma's defense, what they did to Ty Simpson last week, 240 yards in the first half, held him to 80. They get the pick in the end zone. They get the pick six. Just an opportune deal. But those are two monster wins for Oklahoma. They should have been a 7. They should have been at Oregon.
Okay.
No offense.
Stanford Steve / Oregon Steve, I'm not sure how to address you right now, but what do you think of this, when you look at the board here for the college football playoffs, what do you disagree with? Do you have any big issues with what's going on here?
Yeah, my issue is 7 to 10. I would have Oklahoma at 7, Oregon below Alabama. I would have Alabama at 8, and then Oregon, Notre Dame 9, 10, whatever way you want to do that. When you look at Alabama's resume, 4 top 25 wins. How am I thinking? Oregon.
You got it.
Oregon, Minnesota, and Iowa are the only teams over 500 in FBS that they've beaten.
That Iowa team's a good football team.
They are good.
That was a hell of a
They
game.
are good. But I just look at the resumes, and to me, it's just showing the eye test is weighing more with all those coaches in the room, but also Alabama's getting penalized for that bad loss at Florida State. I didn't think it was a bad loss then, but the way Florida State's season has played out with losing all these games now and not looking like an upper-tier team, they're getting penalized for that loss.
Do you think this is going to be consistent with how they view the rankings going forward, or is it like every week we should expect something different? Like, oh, it was a big win. This was a bad loss. This is this. Do they kind of just, you know it a lot better than us. Should we just expect multiple different reasons on why they picked what each week?
Well, you look at a team.
Or is each like committee different?
Yeah, you look at it. I think every week it changes because the rankings are going to change. So, like last week, Iowa was a top 25 win. Now they're not because they lost to SC and now they're out of the top 25. So the resumes are going to change, and that's what everybody wants to see with Miami and Notre Dame because they don't have a lot of data points to gain. But will that head-to-head end up being the big kicker at the end when the resumes are finalized?
Miami, Notre Dame. What are your thoughts?
Yeah,
they play.
I thought Notre Dame got rewarded big time for blowing out Pitt. I don't know how good Pitt is. You know, when you good team,
but they do suck.
You not Narduzzi?
I'm just saying they got a lot to prove. Look at the schedule.
Tyler Palco gave them a speech before last week.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Did you see the handshake after the game?
Yeah.
That looked a little dicey.
What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Coach Freeman seemed like he didn't want to hear any of that.
Is it the 100-0? You think? Is that the?
I thought that maybe. Maybe trying to, like Des said, trying to flip it over to Notre Dame side. Like, whoa, we're just coming in here to play a football game.
So Marcus Freeman said, "Thanks, Narduz. 110-3. Why don't we even what are we even doing here as a football coach?" But you're saying Notre Dame gets rewarded seemingly for this Pitt win.
We don't know. I don't know about Pitt yet. Pitt goes to Georgia Tech, and then they host Miami. We're going to know a lot more about Pitt. I mean, they were sneaking in the rankings, and now they're not. They got the freshman quarterback. They obviously didn't play well last week. When you get that stage and you get that opportunity against a team like Notre Dame, you got to play well. They didn't play well. I expect them to bounce back tomorrow. I'm not sure if they're going to win the game against Georgia Tech. But to me, Notre Dame got a lot of credit for beating that Pitt team. They were impressive, no doubt. But to jump all the way up, or jump the spots that they did and drop Bama behind them, I thought that was a lot.
So Tone immediately, I think after maybe week 3 or week 4 of the college football season, Tone immediately goes, well, this reminds us, if Notre Dame wins every game by 30 going forward, are they going to get in the playoff? I said, no way. Just because I was a prisoner of the moment, I'm like, can't happen. Now, we know about Texas A&M, obviously. Texas A&M, vastly different view on them now versus maybe at the time. But that is kind of what they've done. They've become a dominant football team. In the eye test, if we're going strictly by eye test, Jeremiah Love, and they got Price as well. Jeremiah Love, though, after us talking to him, I love this man.
All right.
I absolutely love this
I got an idea if we want to throw a little money on him for the Heisman Trophy. Okay, he's going to run for 800 yards against Syracuse and Stanford.
Connor has a question for you, Stanford Steve.
Yeah, Stanford Oregon Steve. I'm wondering what you think about the talent on the field tomorrow. How many GMs, how many NFL scouts do you expect there? Just because it seems as though there's a lot of first-round picks. I mean, Mekhi Lemon over there for USC. I know some teams who might want a young rookie wide receiver are kind of eyeing him. And then, I mean, Dante Moore. He's going to be a top 10, top 3 quarterback probably. What do you expect as far as skill?
Well, I'm interested, Connor. It's funny you brought that up. At the Indiana-Oregon game, plenty were on the field in the pregame watching both quarterbacks. And now we don't know what Dante's going to do with the status. I mean, the way it sounds is that if these quarterbacks are going to keep getting paid, they're going to come back to college. That might be the opportunity for him, if knowing that everybody wants a quarterback in the first round, for him to go. So I'm interested to see what scouts are back to show that, because then they're in on Dante Moore. So that is interesting. But the wide receiver core for SC is awesome. Against an Iowa team who I think is very good up front, Oregon rolled up their sleeves and ran the ball down Iowa's throat, and that was the biggest shocker to me in that game. And Iowa couldn't get to
the fog?
the quarterback last week, and that's what provided the comeback for SC. So the lines of scrimmage are enormous, especially for SC in this atmosphere tomorrow.
Yeah, it's getting foggy up here, and Stanford Steve's bringing the heat. Obviously, we appreciate that. Excited to see the scouts and the NFL talent that are on the field tomorrow. The weekend slate features one in Montana.
Steve
Yeah.
Grateful
Dog
guy.
Yeah, look at that. Oh.
I'll get the free jacket.
I'm 0 for 11.
On guessing?
Yeah.
On where we were headed?
Yeah. So you don't want any of me.
At some point, you should have got one right.
No,
I think, throughout the entire season.
I'm going back. I'm like, wow, that's wrong.
Yeah. So just know that we all feel the same way, though. On the show, we do not
the
make
backdrop
the
there in Missoula
Yes.
would have been incredible.
What do you think about that game?
Montana
What do we
State's
know?
a favorite in Missoula. That was pretty eye-opening. I caught a little Montana State last week against UC Davis. Good ball club.
Yeah, what style of play does Montana State have, Stanford State?
Little wide open, quarterback, mobile, a lot of ride at the side, RPO game.
What about Montana? What's
Montana's bigger, physical.
Oh, it's going to be cold. We know that last time we were
No
there.
sleeves.
vinegar.
Those guys don't like wearing sleeves either.
No, yeah, it's because they got to showcase that they're tough. That's what they got to do.
Yeah. They could have the old AstroTurf up there. You don't know.
All right, question of the week is a coach that's in Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Now, Theo Vaughn just told a story about experiencing Oxford with Lane Kiffin.
Mm-hmm.
Talks about he went to yoga with him. 6 a.m. yoga, non-negotiable for Lane Kiffin in this new life that he's living. He's in there every single day. I have happened to have received some text messages before going in there from Lane. My relationship with Lane at this point is pretty hilarious.
FaceTime only.
FaceTime, it's very random. It's not like every day. This is like a patchy, I would say, relationship in text message. Theo Vaughn talked about him in the middle of this yoga, 6 a.m. yoga, about how he's actually not the coach, the yoga teacher, whatever it's called, the yogi, but he'll go around and motivate some of the people that are in the yoga class. And if it's a little quiet, Theo Vaughn says, he's dribbling a golf ball in there to add a little accent noises to the 6 a.m. yoga. Lane Kiffin seemingly loves his life at Ole Miss. They are rolling. Everybody thinking, obviously, going to the college football playoff. Who knows? They're selling that place out. They're celebrating. Belt to ass is becoming their thing. BTA is like becoming their thing. I know, obviously, Mississippi State, the Bulldogs have the cowbells. They're getting the belts. Like, they're developing, like, a lot of tradition.
I'll take a belt against a cowbell.
Cowbell, though, guaranteed sound.
Yeah, watch it.
You got to really do well with the belt. You know,
yeah,
because you can't miss that. You can squeeze it and it doesn't make a massive sound, and so that's a big deal, obviously, on getting the sound and getting everybody in unison. But like Lane Kiffin, legitimately, could become king there, statue, just like Saban almost at Alabama. Ty has a question for you about all of that.
Yeah, Steve, what do you think is ultimately going to happen with this? Connor was looking at some of the Ole Miss message boards before the show, and he was saying how, a lot of people are speculating that LSU and Florida boosters are basically flying private flights over Oxford to really rile up the fan base, make them think that something maybe is happening that's not. I think a lot of people at this point are kind of assuming, like, hey, we don't know if a contract extension was offered. So if that's the case, like, is he gone? He's going to play out this season, but he kind of knows that maybe he will leave for LSU or Florida. The longer this takes, it kind of does seem like there's a good chance that he is going to leave. Where do you sit with this whole thing right now, and what do you think's ultimately going to happen?
It's a lot. I thought Coach Saban has done a great job of explaining how this window and the calendar is just brutal for this and guys trying to make decisions. And when you're talking about families involved and the whole deal, I tend to think that Lane sends his family ahead to Baton Rouge to get a tour, and that purple sells on people. Then you hear the idea that LSU would be in agreement that Coach O would come back and be part of the Lane staff. That thing has seriously cooking right there.
Yeah, but
purple.
Who's saying any of these things? Who's saying any
People.
Of these? Yeah, I know
Anyone
that.
credible?
But that's what I'm saying. And also, go ahead.
I thought there was some deals where there was scenes of the family in Baton Rouge.
Okay, so on that note, Baton Rouge, isn't she dating? Isn't a member of the family dating?
Weeks.
Yeah, weeks.
Yeah.
So we would assume family has been to Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Right? We would assume that is the case. Now, Gainesville, if there is trips being made, It is fascinating with the family dynamic. Like maybe there has to be like, yeah, let's go check it out type thing. Because I know the internet was sleuthing all that stuff, and you can track planes, and I don't love that at all. It's actually a very scary situation. But I understand. Hey, we're allowed to have information on everybody about everything.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. But it's like, wow. I know in the history of ball, you leave Ole Miss to go to Florida or to LSU. But it's like, man, you got it. 10 wins, 3 straight seasons.
Yeah.
6 a.m. yoga. I think the rest of his days are pretty good, too.
Pretty good.
And
They got yoga in Baton Rouge and Gainesville. Right?
is he dribbling a golf ball around at 6 a.m.? Is he walking around motivating everybody at 6 a.m.? That's how comfortable he is at his 6 a.m. yoga class, let alone everything else in his life. And it's like, is the money different? I guess that's a question we should ask you. Is LSU, Florida money different?
Yeah, who's going to make him not be able to say no? Ole Miss is going to try and do that this weekend, even though he denied it.
Oh, did he?
On your show.
Well, he said they didn't make him have an ultimatum. I didn't know if there was a contract offer already. You know, that changes everything. Crazy situation that he's just in the middle of, and every other decision kind of waits on what he does. So I think you got a lot of pressure from other agents and other coaches and other ADs and other presidents and governors potentially in some states that would like an answer now because it helps them and benefits them. I wonder how much of it's like actually real, you know, because he said I was not given an ultimatum, and it doesn't sound like he's thinking I need to make an answer now, but the Ole Miss fans are like, it might not be real, but we're hearing what everybody else is saying. We want an answer now.
And like you talked about, in the midst of this,
dude,
an unbelievable season, 1 loss, you know, still has a monster game against his rival. Yeah, like they've waited this is the cusp of the whole run. This is why you hired Lane to take you to this place. And with all that going on amidst all these talks, it makes for mayhem.
It does make for mayhem. Hey,
blame the calendar.
Yeah, transfer portal, middle of college football playoff run. You would think next place would want transfer portal if Lane was going somewhere. And also,
he is transfer portal king.
TPK, Ferris State guy right now running wild. Name was Trinidad. Now it's just win at that because all he does is win, no matter what. And that seems like Lane Kiffin's story too. Will it remain in Ole Miss with a skyline potentially being built alongside of his success, or does he head somewhere else that certainly has other opportunities and options? I don't know. As somebody that is not the closest with Lane but can text Lane, I'm almost like, brother, life is okay right now.
And to your point,
I watched his doc. Life being okay now, I think, is a big part of it, right? Like
he made that known.
Yes, exactly. Like,
but the idea how he's done this with just violating the transfer portal. When you go back to Florida or an LSU, it's more of a homegrown deal. Like, does he really want to go back to sitting in living rooms, recruiting guys? Because that's how you build that thing. You get players from in your state, not necessarily Ole Miss, where he's just firing away. I mean, Charlie Weiss Jr. talked about seeing Trinidad on film. It was like, call him. And look at save their season.
Now, granted, you have to do that again and again and again.
That's what I'm saying. Does that get old, or is recruiting get like, you know what I'm saying? There's 2 different styles to this. It seems like the recruiting thing is going away, but like you see Coach Lanning with what he's done.
Steve, I love you.
All right. Yeah. Come on.
Ty can hit bombs, dude. People forget about that. All right, Steve, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen,
watch out for the Chiefs. Just saying.
Watch out for the Chiefs.
Uh-oh.
Get out.
Take that handshake back.
Deal. Yeah. Nope.
Take it back, quick.
All right.
See you, buddy. I appreciate you.
You want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you. Run fast while you have the chance. Don't speak, let them look right